Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to walk you through the process of researching a county held tax lien certificate. Now these are tax lien certificates that have already been sold. They have already gone through the auction process, and these are certificates that for whatever reason did not sell. It could have been that the at the auction that the buyer backed out, or that the investors who were there just didn't see the value in these properties. Or want to participate. And there's a number of reasons why. Some of these properties are indeed junk lands, stuff that you would not want to own. It's swampland. Some of them have a lot of other unpaid taxes, and the values might be higher on the unpaid taxes than what the land is worth, or very close to it. So there's a number of different reasons. And then some of them are just overlooked, or again, the investor that purchased them did not pay for them. The county that I'm going to be looking at is Hillsborough County. Now, one of the things that I like about county held certificates is, one, there's very little competition. I mean, there are other investors that are out there researching these and they're buying them, but I don't have that face-to-face or that that competition that's driving down the interest rate. The other great thing about county held certificates is that the interest rate is the maximum interest rate, which is in Florida is 18%. So these certificates, they pay 18%. In Florida, they also pay a 5% penalty, which means that if I buy it today and the property owner pays off the taxes tomorrow, then they still have to pay the 5% penalty. So I'm guaranteed a minimum return of 5% in Florida. Like it. The certificate, the county that I'm going to be working in right now is Hillsborough County. This is actually Tampa, and this county actually lists their county held tax certificates on their website. Some do, some don't. You have to check with the tax collector at individually by county. Some counties, they sell their certificates throughout the year. Hillsborough is one of them. Others just choose certain times throughout the year, like Orange County, which is Orlando. They may open up the tax lien certificate for one day, the county held certificates for one day to see what sells, and they close it down again. So it's up to each individual county tax collector how they operate. From the website here, the Hillsborough County Tax Collector's website, you'll notice that there's this link here that says, for county held certificates, click there. And when you click that, in fact, it will allow you to download or ask you to download an Excel file. And that is where all of the data is. It's in this Excel file, and I've already downloaded it. And basically what it gives you is it gives you the property ID, the sale year, the folio number, the tax year, the tax amount, the interest rate, the buyer ID. Now in this case, all of these are 12, which means Hillsborough County. The certificate number, the payment status, and then the run date. So you'll see that this report was actually ran today, November 27th. So basically, once you have this data, it's really a process of kind of filtering out what you might be interested in. So you might be interested in only tax liens that meet a certain year. Remember that you can't take action on a tax lien certificate until it is outstanding for 2 years. So where it says 2008, if you were to buy this 2008 certificate, you could immediately take this to a tax deed auction. That doesn't mean that you get the property, but what that means is that you can now take all of the unpaid certificates, wrap them into one, again paying 18%, and have that property go to a tax deed auction, which could result. It's a very slim possibility, 1 to 3% possibility you could get the property, but you could get the property. But anything that's over 2 years old from the tax year is eligible to be taken right to a tax deed sale. 2013 is the last year. These are properties that were up for auction in the May-June timeframe this year, and again, these are ones that did not sell. So essentially, what I typically do, or what I've done in the past before the tlfolio.com, and I'll show you how that works in a minute, is I would come in here and I would kind of go back and filter out things that I might be interested in. I would sort by I would come up here and sort by tax amount, largest to smallest. And you can see that here's a property with looks like over $1 million in property taxes, and they drop down from there all the way down to dollars. I try to stay away from the bottom of that list because those are the properties that you really don't want. I try to stay in the range of anywhere from 200 to 1500. Those kind of make sense. What this report does not tell you is all of the details on the property, and that's where the research and due diligence comes in, because now you need to go match this up and take a look at what you're looking at. So basically from here you get, once you filter it down, so let's just go down here to anything that's less than $2,000. I'll put in a custom filter in here and choose anything that's between, let's do greater than 500 and less than or equal to 1500. So using Excel, I've brought this down, and this is now a list of properties that I need to go back and research. So what you kind of do is you start here with this one, and I kind of copy. I did Control C there to copy that, move this file out of the way a little bit, and come back over to the website. And you come over here to the property taxes, and you go to delinquent. I'm sorry, you come down here to pay property taxes, and you put in the property ID. And you do the search, and it's searching, and okay, it comes up and says this property is actually owned by MI Homes of Tampa, and here is the address. And so then what I do is I come over here and right click, and I do a Google search, and I tend to go to Maps, Google Maps, and this is in Hillsborough County, and I can zoom in here, and I can see that it looks like this property is looks like it's basically common area, which means that it's in a community, like a master plan community. And if you zoom in really good, you can see that it's it looks like it's this sidewalk area. You'll see this, there's this fence there. Let me zoom in a little bit further. There's this fence here, and it looks like it's this common area here. And then if you want to further research that, then you would actually go to the county property appraiser's office, and you would need to let me pull that up. So that's Hillsborough County property appraiser, and we'll click here. Now for this, I'm going to need the folio number, which is right here. And we're going to do a property record search. It's going to ask me for I'm going to do a folio number, and it's 2196. 0 matches. 054246. Here we go. MI Homes of Tampa. And you can see that the market value here is $100. And when you look at this map right here, let me click on this map. Okay, you'll notice that it's not just that sidewalk area, but it's all of this area that's in black here. So let's go back over to the Google Maps here, and let me zoom out a little bit. So it looks like the property is all of this up here, like this, comes down. It's all of this common property here to there, and then it comes all the way back up to here. So basically it's all of this curve and this open property. This is property, as you can see, that the tax collector has rated as basically basically it's rated it as $100 worth of land. It means you're not going to do anything with it. This is one of those junk properties that I talked about. And this is a classic example of something that you have to be careful of when you're looking and researching for these types of properties. And essentially, then I would come over here and write, common area, and then I would move on to the next one. We'll just pull up one more, just to walk you through that process. So you come back over here, and you come back. This is owned by Tarpon 4 LLC. Now Tarpon 4 is an investor of tax lien certificates, and you notice that this has an address of 0 King Palm Drive, which means that it hasn't even been given a street address yet. So in this case, we'll come over here, and we'll come back to the the property appraiser's office. So I mean, I can't even do a Google search on that one. I'm gonna do folio number, and the folio number of that one is 65507 2527. I need to put in a leading 0 there because apparently Excel sometimes cuts that off. And sure enough, here it is, and I can click on this, and now again I get an assessed value of this of $60,000, and it is common commercial property. It's vacant commercial property, not common, but vacant. And when I map this, it's on King Palm Drive, and you'll see that it's not given an address again. It's still 0, but now I would need to come over here and 0 King Palm Drive. And here's King Palm Drive. And now it's really a little bit of trying to figure out where this property is to see what makes sense. And I can come over here and zoom out on it. You'll notice that it's King Palm near Sugar Palm. So let's go back to my map. King Palm. This might be Sugar. Let's zoom in a little bit. Yep, here's Sugar Palm. Here's King Palm, and here is the property in question, but it doesn't really look. So it's before the bend, and it's a very small. It's a very small piece of land. This looks like it right here. Let's look at that. See, it's before the bend. Here's the road. It's before the bend. It's before this parcel right here. So we can actually, this is where it's good to switch over to Google Maps again. And sure enough, here is the parcel. So again, this is a parcel that even though it has a value of $60,000, it is not of any value because you're probably not going to be able to build on a parcel this small. And that's one of the things I like about Google Maps in terms of this view is that all the parcels are laid out here. So they're using GIS data, which lays out the parcel, and this is a good way of looking at some of the parcels and getting a good size of it. So basically, that's what's involved in researching county-held tax liens, the county-held certificates. And in our next video, I'm going to take you through a quick and easy way to make all of this headache and all of this due diligence so much easier. And that's tlafolio.com. So check out the next video and just see how easy it is.